The biggest blockage to happiness with your horse is fear. So this key to happiness with your horse is about noticing when your horse is afraid and doing something about it to help your horse feel safe. It doesn't matter that you don't understand how they could be afraid of this thing. It doesn't matter if you think their fear is irrational. It only matters that you do whatever action it takes to help your horse feel safe. This circle here is the comfort zone, and the comfort zone is where your horse feels comfortable and relaxed, where everything is familiar and feels good. And this narrow band outside the comfort zone is what we call the not too sure zone. In the not too sure zone, your horse feels a bit of tension and anxiety. And then all this area outside of the not too sure zone is what I call the oh shit I'm dead zone, and we all know what that feels like. From now on, we call this one the oh shit zone. No learning takes place in the oh shit zone, only survival reactions, some of them good, some bad. Unless you're very skilled, this is a great place to avoid. Your horse can't think at all in the oh shit zone, they can only react. If you want happiness with your horse, then help them spend a lot of time in their comfort zone with you. Then, the more confident you are, the longer you can take your horse out into the not too sure zone when learning to not be afraid of something. You can stay in the not too sure zone from just a few seconds, or if you're really confident, up to 2 minutes. And then you wait until your horse licks and chews. If you spend longer than 2 minutes in the not too sure zone, then you're in danger of creating the habit of your horse feeling tense and anxious. That's not the kind of habit I want. Then, provided that whatever you were doing was actually safe in the first place, you can go back to that thing they were afraid of and keep repeating that process until your horse no longer has any fear about what you're doing. When you take this action every time your horse is afraid, then the comfort zone will get bigger and bigger until it covers everything that you want to do with your horse. With some horses who've had really bad stuff happen to them, it can feel a bit like watching paint dry at the beginning, but this is seriously worth it. The bond that you get from helping them work through that stuff is so special. The happiness of that is amazing. And relax anyway. It gets much, much faster to put new things into the comfort zone as you go along, and it's so worth it because of that happiness for you and your horse. So here's your next mission, should you choose to accept it. Pay attention to your own horse and notice what zone they're in. What does your horse look like when they're in their comfort zone? What does your horse look like when they've gone into their not too sure zone? What do they do when they're in their not too sure zone? What do they feel like when they're in their not too sure zone? What are the signs that your horse gives you when they're on the edge of their oh shit zone and about to flip out into it? And what kind of things does your horse do when they're in their oh shit zone? In tomorrow's video, I'm going to reveal to you the biggest reason that you feel nervous or anxious when you're doing something with your horse. And this is the biggest cause of riders losing their nerve, and it's the biggest block to people getting their confidence with their horse in the first place. You're gonna love it. See you then.